Hiya Chris, lovely to meet up with you and Joe again at the range this morning and begin to do some further work on your game. Quick recap on the key points that we covered. Obviously both a similar issue. We talked a lot today about the path of the left shoulder and how tilting to the left and the understanding of the key movements of the golf swing can help you maintain your inclination to the ground. If we take a little look at the start of the session, the first thing we notice is that the left shoulder stays very level during the backswing. You can see the standing up piece there. There's a definite stretching and extending of the spine. Whereas Joe moved off the ball considerably whilst gaining a little bit of height, you actually gained more height than you moved off, if you will. So your definite sort of introduction of left tilt is going to help you a tremendous amount. So left shoulder works very level. That pushes you off the golf ball and also up out of your original inclination to the ground. You can see here, when viewed from down the line, that the left shoulder never really turns on a downward path, and by waist level in the backswing, the shoulders have already started to come out of the forward tilt. The shoulders never turn at 90 degrees to the inclination at the ground, and you can see here now that the shoulder turns very level. In turn, you've stood up. The extension is nice. So the fact that you stand up during the golf swing is fine. What you have to do is offset the standing up with some left tilt. So that's a player who has extended and turned but not left tilted. So that's what we're lacking, the left shoulder down. And we're done here on the top right is I've put some footage of Ernie Els from this year's Open on the practice ground. You can see that if you watch his left shoulder, the left shoulder traces a downward path. Downward path of the left shoulder. When we talked about the other key movements in the golf swing, you know, the sternum and the belt buckle are near as damn it over the top of one another at address. And yet midway back in the swing, if you do that same straight line up from the belt buckle, the sternum now is no longer over that line. So we've got a situation here where I'm at sort of 90 degrees to his shoulder turn at this point in the golf swing, and that gives you an indication how the spine is changing flex throughout the time and space of the swing. So left shoulder has to stay working downwards if we're going to maintain our tilt towards the golf ball. So the first thing we did, or the main thing we did today, was familiarise yourself with the moves that are required. And we said that if the upper axis or the head remains, upper axis is centre of the shoulder turn, but we use the head as a nice easy reference for you. For the head to stay still, we have to be turning, left tilting and extending at the correct rate. So what we've done here is we're trying to get a situation where whilst hitting balls, we're fixing the head in position. And you can see straight away as we do this on the bottom left, the left shoulder traces more of a downward path. The upper axis doesn't drift off and up as quick. The freedom of movement in the left arm is increased. And the maintenance of your initial inclination has been improved. It's not ideal, not perfect, but it's definitely took us a step forward. If we look at it from down the line, you can see that the left shoulder works down in a much more appropriate manner. The shoulders now halfway back, turning much more at 90 degrees to your original inclination compared to where we were at the start of your sessions. You can see the tilt on your shoulders here compared to here. That's dramatically different. And then you just lose it a little bit at the top of the backswing. There's almost, we talked about that bit of an overswing, and it's your way of getting some length on the golf swing. When a player doesn't really sort of left tilt and extend appropriately, there's always going to be a little bit of difficulty in regards to how far the butt of the club can be travelling in the backswing. But overall, much more stable look, particularly midway back. So the introduction of a downward movement of the left shoulder, left tilting more and for longer during the backswing, which in turn is going to help you maintain your inclination to the ground. We can work a little bit more on the extension and other things in your golf swing as we go, but for now, keep working on the stabilisation of the head and keep working on the thought of left tilting during the backswing. Good luck with it, and look forward to working with you again in the coming weeks. Well done.